All right, this is my third time filming this video, so you guys better absolutely destroy that like button. It's actually my fault, but obviously. So today we're going to be talking about what happened with the overall market. I'm going to be sharing a couple thoughts with you guys. I hope that you guys enjoy it, learn something new. If you're new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe. And if you're just here and you're trying to learn something new, I hope that you do. And please destroy that like button. If you want to stay connected, I do have a free Discord group for trading, and that's that first link in the description if you want to stay connected. So what happened today, right? The Consumer Price Index report, also known as the inflation report, was released today. This was for the month of March 2022, and this was delivered to us on April 12th, 2022. Pretty much, again, I broke down this CPI report in today's earlier video. If you want to learn more about it and the number breakdown, please watch today's earlier video after you're done watching this one. Pretty much, month over month, they just report on, hey, has inflation gone up or has it gone down? I'm going to be sharing a couple thoughts with you guys. Please watch the video and then share your thoughts down in the comment section. With that being said, inflation's at 8.5%, the highest it's ever been in my lifetime for the past 40 years, right? I'm not 40 years old, but I'm getting there, right? 8.5%. With that being said, I really began to ask myself that question. I'm here to prepare for the future, right? I know I know for a fact I can't predict it. No one can. But I hope that this is why you're here as well. It's because, are things going to get better? And then I began to kind of try to answer that question backwards of like, well, what has made things worse? COVID, right? The lockdowns, Russia attacking Ukraine, the oil crisis. What else? Inflation, right? Those are the main factors. With that being said, do we expect things to get worse? I mean, we're at the highest point that we've ever been in the past 40 years. That's one thing, right? But when I really began to look into the Consumer Price Index, yes, for the month of March, it makes sense on why we saw such a big increase. Do you guys know what was the biggest contributor for that big increase? It was the energy sector. Surprise, surprise. Russia attacks Ukraine. Russia is one of the largest producers of oil. With that being said, there's the blockage of Russia. We cut off Russia. Supply levels for oil go down. Demand levels stay high. Inflation makes kind of sense, right? With that being said, if you guys didn't watch today's earlier video, look at this. For the month of March, it goes down like this, right? This is for the month of February. And this is month compared to the increase that we saw for the month of February, the increase that we saw to the month of March, right? There is nothing, not one sector, not one factor that saw an increase of 22.3% like energy, right? There's nothing like fuel oil that saw an increase of 18.3%, 18.1%, 11%. This is all the energy sector. Used cars saw a decrease of 3.8%. I began to scratch my head and was like, okay, well, is oil getting worse? Well, we don't have a solution to it, right? Russia is still, right, it's still tense out there. I'm not actually still sure I feel like people stopped reporting about it. With that being said, but I don't know if things are getting worse. And then I began to ask myself, like, why does this sound familiar? Well, what happened last time that things didn't get worse? It wasn't that they got better, right? But it was right after Russia attacked Ukraine. What happened? This is the NASDAQ index. The NASDAQ market has a big focus on tech, right? There's three major markets. The NASDAQ index hit lows. And then all of a sudden, nothing got better. It began to recover. It began to recover. It began to recover. And guess what? I don't know about you. I can't speak for you. But I know that I was not fully invested in my investment positions and even in some of my swing trades because I was trying to time the market. I was trying to predict and again, it's like a mistake that everyone makes. And then now I'm asking myself where I'm just simply trying to prepare. It's not that I'm here to try to catch something at the absolute bottom because be realistic with yourself. You're never going to know exactly when that bottom is. But all you want to do is to prepare to put your future self in a better position. So when I began to ask myself and look into this data, I obviously know that energy is one of the biggest sectors that contributed to this month over month, increase. So when then asking myself, well, then do I expect inflation to continue to rise? Well, I wouldn't say that for the month of April. I'm still seeing gas prices rise, and definitely not to the degree that we saw them rise from February to the month of March, right? For the month of March, the month of February, you can answer this yourself. Are you still seeing gas prices rise or energy prices rise? No, there's not a solution, but things are simply not getting worse. And that's where I think the incentive is. The thing that you must understand, and I think the stock market is a perfect example of this, and I'm going to go to the closer time frames when it comes down to this. The thing that you must understand is that it's not that things have to get better, it's that things simply don't have to get worse, and they get factored into the market right away. So if we begin to see that inflation peaks, especially when it comes down to that energy sector, that's a step in the right direction for the NASDAQ market. That's a step in the right direction for overall markets because all of this inflation and this fear is already factored in. So things simply not getting worse is a step in the right direction. I also went ahead and I looked at the VIX. Some of you guys might know what the VIX is. This is considered the fear index. And right as the market opened, like clockwork, we saw the VIX pull back. This was a step in the right direction, meaning that fear was no longer present, right? For a very short period of time, it found its support for whatever reason. And then we actually were, delighted with one of the governors. Yeah, Governor Bernard speaking at 12:10 p.m. It was shortly after that we began to see the NASDAQ market pull on back, and SQQQ recovered shortly after that. So I'm not here to say that, oh my God, like the market's about to take off. I don't even know what I'm going to name my thumbnail, but it might be something like that. But I just want you to understand the why. Why am I talking about this? Because I don't want you to be in the same position that you were 2 or 3 weeks ago when the NASDAQ market began to all of a sudden recover and you're scratching your head wondering why. Oh my God, the market's rigged. I don't understand why. I'm not fully invested. I'm missing out. It's not that the market has to get better. It's that you should prepare to understand why we are where we are now and how not getting worse is progress, especially with the market, because all of the fear, all of the bad news is already factored in. This is more of a video for, I guess, our long-term investors and for our swing traders that begin to ask yourself the question, do your own due diligence. Don't do it for me, do it for yourself. Begin to ask yourself those difficult questions. Have we peaked for the month of March when it comes down to inflation? Are we finally peaking based off of the factors that you know that influence the inflation percentage? And with that being said, if so, then maybe then, right? If we begin to retract, that's when we can really enter that bullish market sentiment, especially now that we entered the Q2, right, for 2022. Hopefully we can actually begin to report positive earnings for a lot of these different companies that had a horrible start to the year. And again, setting those expectations low and exceeding expectation, therefore leading hopefully for a positive earnings. So not saying that the market's going to recover right away. I'm just saying that based off of my understanding, it looks promising that we might have peaked when it comes down to inflation report, and that's simply progress. So again, I guess my explanation in today's video is a little bit more in depth than I originally thought it was going to be, but I hope that you enjoy it. I mean, I make these videos for you guys. I hope that you appreciate, and again, the way that I kind of understand my appreciation of you is by you destroying that like button. I hope it's not too much to ask, and of course, please consider subscribing. So again, friendly reminder, I trade live every single morning. If you want to join me for today's live trading session, we are running a sale today, and that's going to be $100 off the Learn Plan Profit 2.0. You get to watch me trade live every day. You can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow at market open. If you want to learn more about it, click the second link down below, and again, that will get you $100 off. We are also running a sale at our Shop TechBud site. You do not have to, but if you have a boring trading setup, we have a 25% off our entire mousepad collection. So if you've been waiting for a deal, our extra large trading mousepads are all 25% off, and this discount applies automatically on our website at shoptechbuds.com. That's that fourth link in the description. So make sure you don't miss out, especially if you have a boring trading setup. No one wants one of those, right? I appreciate you guys' time. Hope and wish you guys an amazing Tuesday. and I will see you tomorrow for our live trading session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.